Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the HR Minister podcast. I'm your host, Dana Lynch, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new to the show, this is the place where we talk about all things HR, employment, faithful leadership, and how to thrive both professionally and personally. And today we're focused on a August financial checkup. This is one of my favorite topics as an HR professional to try to help folks just really help them make the best decisions and utilize their company benefits in the best way possible. It's the perfect time to evaluate your finances, maximize your employer benefits, and take a look back over the year to review your spending versus your budget, and also plan ahead because the decisions you make now can set you up for success in the coming year and beyond. Before we get started, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the HR Minister podcast wherever you listen. It sure would help us out. And remember, if you're an employer or an employee who needs HR support, visit us at www.hr911.org or email us at info@humanresources911.org. So let's dive in. All right, so let's take a look at a financial checkup by life stage. So your financial strategy changes as you move through life. So let's break it down. And I've got it for every decade of your work life. So in your 20s, you want to really start building the foundation. Start saving early. Even small contributions to your 401k or an IRA will grow significantly over time. Choose employers wisely. Look for companies with strong health insurance, retirement plans, or tuition assistance. Build an emergency fund. Aim for at least 3 to 6 months of expenses saved. And I know what you're thinking if you are in your 20s. You're probably thinking, I don't really have the energy to do this. I don't really have the interest to do this, perhaps. Or maybe I can't afford it. And I've talked to many folks in their early 20s, and they'll tell me these things. But I promise you, if you start saving now, you will thank yourself when you're in your 50s, and possibly you could retire early. So now let's talk about, for those of you that might be in your 30s, you want to grow and protect your finances. Increase your savings rate. Target 15% of your income for retirement. Talk to anyone at the financial houses and they will tell you that. And that could be a combination between your company match and what you're putting away. You want to tackle your debt. Prioritize your high interest credit cards and your student loans. Pay those off first to get those out of the way so that you're not giving away your hard-earned money. Evaluate your benefits. This is the time to ensure that you have health, life, and disability coverage in place. And you want to seek growth-oriented employers. You want to look for organizations that invest in your career development and work-life balance. Do they have education plans or programs that you could, learn more things within the organization? You really want to look for folks that are looking for you to succeed in the organization and may be able to promote you from within. In your 40s, eliminate that debt. Pay off your high-interest debt. Free yourself from credit card and personal loan burdens. Revisit your budget. Tighten spending and redirect money to savings. Boost your income. Consider promotions, side work, side gigs, or other opportunities to accelerate debt repayment. If you've got some time on the weekend, try to figure out what other kind of gig you can take. All of that, just put it right into your savings account. You will absolutely thank yourself later. In your 50s, you want to build your net worth. Here are some ideas of how you can do that. So you can max out your contributions. So in 2025, for example, the 401k limit is $23,500. Those 50 plus or older can add another $7,500 in catch-up contributions for a total of $31,000 that you can put away in a year. And of course, for more information on that, feel free to take a look at the IRS website, any of the financial houses, a lot of places will have information available to you on the internet. If you can, get debt-free or be debt-free. Enter your 50s with as little high interest debt as possible. And then look ahead, review investments and estate plans to ensure you're on track for retirement. if you are able to do these things over your different decades of life as you're working through them, it's very possible to retire in your 50s or get really near to retiring then and not having to wait until you're 60, 70, 80 to be able to enjoy life and reap the rewards of all of your hard work over the years. All right, so now we're going to pivot and talk about healthcare costs, some of the new laws that are coming out, and open enrollment that's coming up. We also need to talk about healthcare. So there are new laws that are going to set to take effect in 2026, and they could impact the cost of healthcare for both individuals and companies. So while the full details are still unfolding, it is clear that healthcare budgets will need more attention in the coming years. And here's why this matters now. So a lot of folks are not aware that around this time of year, companies are either beginning or even finishing up their open enrollment plans that they'll be announcing to their employees around November. That's typically the open enrollment time nowadays. And so what they're doing behind the scenes is they're working with brokers, going out to all of the major insurance carriers, letting them know that here is my employee population, and perhaps other demographic information that they have. And these brokers will come back with different options, different plans. And this is where, some of the creativity starts coming into place. You may have heard of, they'll come up with, really creative names such as, like the bronze plan, the silver plan, the gold plan. They'll name all these different things. But really what you need to look for as an employee is take a look at, of course, how much will it cost you per paycheck, but then also take a look at any coinsurance, any deductible that you have to pay, in addition to any sort of office visit, specialist visit, the emergency room visit, and even your pharmacy benefits, because sometimes those are outsourced to yet another company to package it all into your open enrollment benefits. So right now there's a lot of analysis that goes on behind the scenes before you get either the booklet or the website that you're going to go to whenever you enroll in open enrollment. But what we should be doing, though, is just making sure that we're taking a look at our budgets and what are we going to need over the next year. Perhaps will you be adding to your family? Are you planning a procedure? Or even some of the unexpected things that could be happening in life. So you really want to work all of that into your budget and plan ahead. So as I said, companies will begin their open enrollment period soon. The choices you make during open enrollment for 2025 coverage will directly impact your out-of-pocket costs and coverage options going into 2026. So prioritize your healthcare budget. Like I said earlier, consider your family's needs, any ongoing medical conditions, potential changes in your income or coverage needs. And then ask questions. Talk to your HR professionals in your workplace about any upcoming changes that may impact your premiums, deductibles, and benefit options. Just one word of caution though, a lot of times your HR professionals don't have the information until open enrollment because sometimes it's handled more at a centralized human resources department or group. So a lot of them truly don't know until the morning of open enrollment. But you can still talk to them and ask them, what are some creative things perhaps that I can do so that I can plan ahead once we do know what our plans are and what the costs will be. And then here is a pro tip. And remember, you should make financial and healthcare decisions that are applicable to your personal and financial situations. But very generally speaking, if you're young and you have no health issues, you may wish to choose a plan that has a lower paycheck deduction on a higher health plan deductible. And then you can basically take the money that you were going to put into the paycheck deduction and put that into a 401k or another savings. And that way you can gain interest on that money. And then if you do have a significant health or financial emergency, then you can lean into that account if needed. The other thing you could do as well is you can pick the higher deductible, lower paycheck deduction plan, but then choose some of the other options that are available either through the employer or even privately, such as critical care or emergency care or even cancer care. There's a lot of other things that you can do to protect your health and financial aspects of your life. And another pro tip, Whenever you do your open enrollment, remember to print out a copy of your enrollment form because that is typically completed, of course, nowadays online. And in the event your enrollment did not process correctly or your deduction is incorrect on your first paycheck in 2026, you will have this form to prove that you completed enrollment and for the cost that you signed up for. Mistakes, do happen, and you do not want to be without insurance or stuck paying a higher payroll deduction for a plan that you did not sign up for. And, here's an action step too. And just remember, don't wait until the very last day of open enrollment to make your decision. As an HR professional, I can't tell you how many folks would wait till the very last day and they just weren't fully informed or educated about the plans that were being offered, and they would just make sporadic decisions that sometimes did impact them the next year. Maybe there was going to be a new baby coming into the family. Maybe someone was going to have surgery and they just didn't quite pick the right plan to financially protect them for those major life events. So the plans that you select this fall can make a huge difference in how you spend on healthcare next year. So another, kind of another offshoot off of this is take advantage of your employer benefits. Regardless of your age, your employer benefits can be one of the most valuable pieces of your total compensation package. So here's some things that you can do. Visit HR. Make sure you're enrolled in every benefit that makes sense for your situation. Sometimes these benefits are only promoted twice a year. Once during a new hire orientation when someone is hired, and then once during open enrollment. Other times it tends to be more silent and not so widely publicized. So feel free to stop in. They would love to talk to you about that. And then you can also maximize your employer contributions. Like I mentioned earlier, take a look at your 401k matches and what you're putting into your 401k and maximize it if you can. And then you can also take a look at HSA health savings account contributions that could also add thousands of dollars to your bottom line each year. Feel free to also speak to your accountant or an accounting professional, and they can possibly help you figure out, your pre-tax and post-tax benefits and see where you can make the most savings. And then look beyond health insurance. Benefits like tuition reimbursement, wellness programs, and employee discounts can all support your financial goals. And the pretty cool thing is tuition reimbursement went away for quite a while, but now it does seem to be slowly coming back in some organizations. So even if it just means perhaps that they'll pay for a course for professional development, take advantage of it. Or maybe they'll pay for some credit hours of a degree plan that you're looking into. But take advantage of them. They really do want to help you and support you. So take a look at them. All right, so next, let's take a look at how we can align our job with the benefits that we need. So just like employers, or just as employers and HR professionals work hard to hire and retain the best employees, as an employee, you should also be very selective. So when you're job hunting, don't just focus on the salary or maybe the big name, employer name. Consider the full benefits package and how it aligns with your life and your future plans. You may go, okay, well, when I'm interviewing, how do I find this information out? There's a lot of information that's actually out there on the web. You could also possibly reach out to on LinkedIn, maybe connect with somebody. You could also call the HR department, and sometimes they'll be able to give you this information. And the other time that you could possibly ask for this information would be whenever I wouldn't quite do it at the end of an interview, but whenever you receive an offer, before you answer the offer with a yes or no, you can ask them, can you please also send me your benefits package and prices so that I can make a full decision on my entire compensation package. And most places will be happy to do that. That way you are fully informed before you say yes to a long-term commitment to an employer. So here are some items in a benefits package that you might want to take a look at. So healthcare benefits. So an employer that might help you with this would be hospitals and healthcare organizations often have excellent health and wellness plans and at quite a significant savings than organizations that are not in healthcare. Take a look if travel perks are important to you. Well, then airlines, hotel, cruise lines, and folks in travel industry, they could offer discounted or even free travel opportunities. If education benefits are important to you, then colleges and universities often provide tuition assistance for you and your dependents, and sometimes it's even free education. If discounts and product perks are important to you, so retailers frequently provide employee discounts. Sometimes it's 20%, sometimes it's 25%, but it's still a savings that you could take advantage of that could possibly assist you. If flexibility is important to you, then tech companies and startups often allow remote work and flexible schedules. If retirement and financial benefits are important to you, government agencies and large corporations tend to have strong retirement plans and 401k matches. Of course, some of that has also been in the news lately. So just do your research with regards to what government agency you might be applying for, trying to join, or large corporation. Just make sure that they have financial, solid financial backgrounds so that, you don't risk any of the things that might be going on in the news right now. So before you say yes to a job offer, just ask yourself, does this job and its benefits help me build the life that I want? It's a really important question because you want to make sure that it fits you. And whenever you say yes, you probably want to stay there for a little bit of time and enjoy your employment experience. So if you're an employer, maybe you're needing some help finding the right, even an employee that's looking for the right job, or some employees. If you're searching, just remember, don't just apply everywhere. You want to focus on companies with benefits that matter the most to you. And if you're an employer, your benefits package are a major recruiting tool. So offer strong benefits. That could be the key to hiring and keeping your top talent. So if you need any assistance with that, we do help both employers and employees. And employees, we can even add you to our free candidate list, which we share with our employer network. And employers, we can also help you design benefit packages that stand out and refer you to brokers in that space. So visit us at www.hr911.org to get started. So here are some closing thoughts. As we wrap up, remember your financial health is built by making smart choices at every stage of life. In your 20s, build strong savings habits. Choose employers with solid benefits, the ones that matter to you. In your 30s, grow your savings, pay off your debt, secure your future with the right benefits. In your 40s, focus on becoming debt-free and maximizing your income potential. In your 50s, maximize retirement contributions and prepare for the future. And don't forget, open enrollment is coming up soon. The choices you make will impact your healthcare costs and coverage into 2026, so plan wisely. Thank you for joining me today on the HR Minister podcast. And if you enjoyed this August financial checkup, please share, like, and subscribe wherever you listen. And remember, if you'd like us to cover a specific HR, employment, or faithful leadership topic, or if you'd like to be interviewed to promote your business and the good you're doing in your community, email us at info@humanresources911.org. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Until next time, take care, plan wisely for your future, and be a good human. Until next time.